it's Miss Vick here to talk about the associative property. Now, what the associative property says is that when you're grouping addends, they can be grouped in different ways, and you'll still end up with the same sum. Now, an easier way to think of that is telling yourself, okay, I can change the way that I'm clumping numbers together when I add them, and I'll still end up with the right answer. This might not seem that helpful, but it gives you another way to add things together, and it becomes really helpful if you have a whole bunch of numbers to add together. Let's do an example of this. Right here, I have three numbers, three addends, and I want to add them together. I have 23 plus 38 plus 42. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to clump some of the things in the ones column together. When I do this, I see that I have 8 and 2, and I can clump those together over here to make 10. Now, all I have to do is 10 plus 3. That one's easy to do in your head. That's why clumping together helps. I know quickly that 10 plus 3 is 13. I'm going to write my 3 in the ones column and carry my 1 up to the tens column. Okay, so I clumped things together over on the ones column side. Now I'm coming over here to the tens column side. I wonder if I can clump anything together over here. Now I see that I have 3 and 2. Those come together nicely to make 5. I can even do a little bit more clumping here because I also see that I have a 1 and a 4. And those come together nicely to make 5. Now, the math becomes easier a little bit. It's kind of a trick doing it this way. It gives you kind of a leg up on just having to count with your fingers. Because now I see that I have 5 plus 5. I know that's 10 right away. So I have clumped all of those, and I can just write 10 down here. And I come up with an answer of 103. Now this is helpful because even though when I'm explaining it, it seems like a long process, it can make things go a lot quicker. Now let's look at this other example over here. Now I have 4 numbers, but when I'm adding I can quickly see, oh look at this, in my ones column I have a 6 and a 4. I know that those go together really easily to make 10. Let me do that. I made 10. Now, I don't have to think about trying to make everything fit in a clump. That's not necessary. But I can make that one in very fast. And now I can see how easily I can just take 10 plus 2 plus 1. That's going to give me 13. And now I'm going to write the 3 down here and carry the 1 up to the tens column. And now over here in the tens column, look at that. Now I have 5 numbers. Let's see if I can make that a little simpler by clumping them together. Oh, look at that. I have 6 and 4 again. I already know that that makes 10, so let me write that. Okay, so I wrote that, let me get this lined up properly. I wrote that I have a 10 right there, but I still have to add my 5 from here, and my 3 from up there, and my 1 from there. 10 and 5 go together real easily, so let me add that first. Then I have 15, plus 3 will give me 18, plus 1 more will give me 19. And there you go. I end up with 193. Now, using the associative property is what I did. Associative property tells me that I can clump these together and add them in different little clumps like that in order to get the answer. And my answer will still be correct. The important thing to remember when you're doing it this way is that if it's in the ones column, it can only be clumped with things in the ones column. And if it's in the tens column, it can only be clumped with things in the tens